What's up, everyone? Welcome back. I'm Blake McLain, and I'm a music producer. So today, I'm actually going to do something that I started doing on the Patreon, and everybody loved it, so I'm going to try it on YouTube. What I'm going to do is, before I do an actual reaction to the song, I'm going to read through the lyrics, and I'm going to make notes, and I'm going to kind of explain to you guys what I would do to the song from a production standpoint, just based on the lyrics themselves. And I'll break down the lyrics a little bit, too. But the thing is, like, lyrics, melody, and music should all align. You know, once all three of those things align, you get an incredible song. And so a lot of times it's very difficult to do that, but you kind of end up playing off of the lyrics with different aspects of production. You guys will kind of see as I jump in and start talking about it. But that being said, I am going to post the reaction in a separate video, and I'll put it on YouTube tomorrow. But I'm going to put it on Patreon today. If you guys want to check that out, there's a link down in the description to the Patreon. I'd rather not upload like 2 videos a day, so, you know, it makes it a little bit easier here. But I'm excited, so this should be a lot of fun. Before we get started, though, as always, I'm like thinking in my head all these things that I got to do right now. Before we get started, as always, please give me a like, give me a subscribe if you enjoy the channel. That one just kind of like blurted out. That was funny. You know, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. My band is putting out an EP coming up really soon. We're called Birds of Paradise. There's some links down in the description to our social media. Please follow us for updates on, you know, our EP and all that stuff, and please help support us whenever it comes out. And that's all that fun stuff. So let's jump in. All right. So I'm kind of curious because I don't know if this is going to be like par for the course Ed Sheeran, because like most of the time his songs are very acoustically based. You know, I mean, they're basically built from the ground up based on like rhythm, and, you know, the rhythm actually comes from the way that he plays the guitar. So it's generally, that is the foundation for the song. But Bad Habits wasn't like that at all. Bad Habits was like dancey and completely different. So I really don't know what to expect or 100% how to approach this. But the song is called Visiting Hours, and let's see, I'm going to take some notes so I can compare whenever I listen to the actual song. Let's jump into verse 1. So I wish that heaven had visiting hours so I could just show up and bring the news that she's getting older, and I wish that you'd met her. The things that she'll learn from me, I got them from all of you. Okay, so it's very melancholy. Huh. And he jumps right into the chorus. So that means there's no like real big build up for the song, because a lot of times if you have a pre-chorus, it means that it's taking the song somewhere. You know what I mean? So you're using your vocal range to really kind of dig deep or start to build. That way, when you hit that chorus, it's really nice and big. So I'm assuming his chorus isn't that big. It's probably just a different rhythm than the verse, and the verse is probably a little bit of a play off of whatever the chorus is. For something like this, because it's melancholy, if you do have any kind of drums or percussion, melancholy is so hard. It would have to be a little bit darker. So maybe like, well, actually, you know, it really doesn't, because you're talking about heaven. So the thing is, you're writing this like fine line, so it's not like you can choose dark or light, but you're finding a mix between the two. So you're talking about heaven, and you're talking about, it's like very bittersweet. So maybe you would want something a little bit more intimate. Maybe he did go acoustic on this one. And that being said, if you did do that, having a very like upfront, you know, kick and a bright kick that's maybe even fairly dry would probably be the way to go. And then because of this, because there's like a heaven thing, well, let's move on to the chorus and let me see what comes out of this. So can I just stay a while, and we'll put all the words to the rights. The little ones will grow, and I'll still drink your favorite wine. And soon they're going, soon they're going to close, but I'll see another day. I'll see you another day. So much has changed since you've been away. Wow, he's really very, very, very rhymey. But that's pretty much how Ed Sheeran writes. And it's actually very forward, too. I mean, again, it's just playing off of that melancholy idea, you know, that somebody in heaven is missing everything down here, you know? Let's go verse 2. I wish that heaven had visiting hours so I could just swing by and ask your advice. What would you do in my situation? I hadn't a clue how I'd even raise them. What would you do? Because you always do what's right. Okay, so he's looking for information. He's looking for solace. He's looking for comfort. because he's moving into the unknown, an unknown part of his life, which is interesting too to play off of heaven, because you know that's part of the unknown as well. So it's kind of, that all goes together extremely well. So, you know, if I was doing something like this, then I would start to bring in maybe some pads, like some brighter synths, some things like that. Underlying though, nothing too forward, nothing hitting really that hard, just to kind of start to create that atmosphere a little bit for something around here. So let's see. Chorus. Can we just talk a while until my worries disappear? I'd tell you that I'm scared of turning out a failure. You'd say, remember the answer, and the answer's in the love that we create. So much has changed since you've been away. So it's about along the same line still for the second chorus. All right. You know, for the chorus too, I'm just sitting here kind of thinking in my head, you could always add in a little bit more reverb onto the vocal. Just because it's something that is kind of farther away in general, and you kind of want to create that feeling, you know, that bigger feeling like you're talking to something that's bigger than yourself even. And then maybe the verses are a little bit more upfront and intimate, you know. And obviously you're going to add in like some harmonies and stuff like that on the chorus. And really Ed Sheeran, his generally like the BPMs that he goes for, he doesn't do very much that's over like 100, I don't know, like 106, you know, beats per minute. So this is probably around like the 100, you know, beats per minute, that sort of a thing, which is around where like Shape of You is. I believe Shape of You is in there. I'm in love with the shape of you. Yeah, it's around there. Most of his songs pretty much sit in that same one. So let's see, verse 3. I also like that he's reused I wish that heaven had visiting hours on each one of the verses. That's a really cool thing to do. So I wish that heaven had visiting hours, and I would ask them if I could take you home. But I know what they'd say, that it's for the best, so I'll live life the way you taught me and make it my own. See, it's very forward and upfront, but it's still poetic. I almost said pathetic. No, it's not pathetic. It's very poetic. And, you know, the thing is with lyrics, too, you never want to give them 4. You want to give them 2 plus 2. I can't remember where I learned that, but you give them 2 plus 2 and let people assume. But at the same time, here, even though he's pretty much giving you 4, it's not specifically 4, you know. It still leaves a little bit of room for the imagination, but it's still sitting on the same theme, and there's really not a ton of development here lyrically. Chorus, and I will close the door, but I will open up my heart, and everyone I love will know exactly who you are, because this is not goodbye. It is just till we meet again. So much has changed since you've been away. All right, so because there's kind of now the incorporation of multiple people here, everyone I love will know exactly who you are. I would probably do something, because this has the heaven theme, it has all that. I'd probably, I don't know, it might be cheesy, bring in a choir. There's a borderline there. You have to be careful. If you're cheesy, if you make it too stereotypical, it can become cheesy very, very quickly. So it needs to be, you have to pull it off right, and that's not an easy thing to do. You know, you really have to think about it. You have to work on the arrangement. You have to work on what they're singing and all that, and bring it in at the perfect point if you are going to do something along those lines. But all right, let's see if there's anything else, or if that's it. So it just ends on that chorus. All right. Chorus is pretty basic too, just 4 lines, so it's probably a same line, same line, same line tail. Let's see, can we just talk a while until my worries disappear? I'm just kind of guessing. I tell you that I'm scared of turning out a fan. No, maybe not. Can we just talk a while until my worries disappear? I tell you that I'm scared. There's really not a lot of rhyming there either, so it's hard to determine where it ends. I'm curious as to how this is going to be. All right, so that's the end of this video, guys. I'm going to go and film the reaction now. And until next time, I'll catch y'all later. And please let me know if you enjoy this format. So, yeah, catch y'all later.